You must love this Scotty Scheffler Belichick talk, Professor. I'm sure it's inspiring.
Well, you do it every week. Like you are so far up Scotty Scheffler's ass.
I did text you yesterday.
That
fire. I thought you might want to tune in.
We've talked about it a million times. I don't get it. We hate on all these guys. The new one, Myles Garrett. Ooh, he was speeding, and like people are freaking
That's
out.
his hate ticket, though. Would you still have a license?
But you know what? The difference is, I would be in prison for 30 years if I drug a cop behind a car. And you guys not only don't mention that, not only forgive it, you suck up, Chike. And by the way, again, let's remind that this is a guy who chokes and cries at the Ryder Cup, and you people are, oh, Scotty Scheffler. Like every time he goes to play the Ryder Cup, goes out of his way to humiliate America while trying to kill cops. Oh my God, speeding! Yeah, that's the end of the world. But Scotty Scheffler runs over a freaking cop, and we're all like, "Oh, okay, no big deal. Scotty's a good dude." What about him and his son? Look, he holds up his son after every tournament. What a charming man! What a wonderful. I hope my kids grow up to be like him. Attempted cop murderers. Yeah, great guy.
The time.
Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
You deserve that one, Lubie. Welcome to the show. Good to have you guys with us after the long Labor Day weekend, 3-day weekend. Always glorious to have those 3 days. And we're back at it on a Peel Yourself Off the Mat Tuesday. Got a little bit of a late start here because of linkage communication. I'm on one link, Lubie's on the other, and then took us a while to figure that out, but we got it going here. And very happy to be with you. A wild week of all kinds of activity, and we can start right there. Lubie, where you would like to begin. And I think I should just give you the platform for 50 minutes. We can go a little over since we started late. Yeah, I mean, that was probably the biggest shocker of the weekend. Watching Belichick get trounced last night, certainly it was probably delightful for a lot of people. I would have to say somewhat of a surprise. TCU was like a 2.5-point favorite on the road against North Carolina. We didn't know what North Carolina was going to look like. Zippity doo dah, they go right down the field on the opening drive, and you're thinking, it's a miracle. This guy is amazing. He doesn't need Tom Brady. And then they get 41 unanswered points put up against him. Oh, that was wild. They had the game against Notre Dame. I don't even want to mention the Cristobal factor, but did we not get a little conservative there towards the end there, Mario? What the hell? Put the game in the hands of a guy who I think was 4 for 11 kicking for FAU last year, was a kickoff specialist. He managed to nail this thing from 48 yards, 47 to win the game. But, I mean, the 3 and outs were getting a little bit obnoxious, were they not? As you had Carson Beck, who was on a 12 for 12 roll after opening. That was the whole second half. I don't think he missed a pass. And he hit those 2 spectacular passes, scoring passes in the first half. And it turned the guy loose a little bit. Come on, Mario, open up some points on this Notre Dame team. They're coming storming back, and you're going to run the ball up the middle with no imagination whatsoever. But still managed to win the game, move up to number 6 in the rankings. That was great. You had the LSU defeat of Clemson. I always like seeing Clemson go down. I'm not a big LSU fan, but I would prefer them over Dabo and his sanctimonious approach to football. Although, as I've stated many times, I thought Dabo was extremely impressive the first time I ever spoke with him. It was probably the only time I ever spoke with him when we used to do these previews. He had just taken over the Clemson program, and we were carrying games on. Believe it or not, I think I was at Radio Purgatory at the time, or in Radio Purgatory, 640. And we get an interview with Dabo Sweeney, and I thought, wow, anybody would want to go and play for this guy. Now that we've gotten to know him a little bit, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that people despise Dabo Sweeney like they did Nick Saban, but he is a little bit much, is he not? How does he get that hat to fit him like that? That fitting hat is great, but it looks a little funny. And then, of course, I mean, the shocker of shockers, Lubie, and I didn't watch any of this game. I'm sure you were riveted to the TV, but and here it is. I want to turn it over to you. Florida State thrashing DeBoer and the Alabama Crimson Tide. My God, calls for Nick Saban to return. I mean, they almost dragged him off the set of Game Day and had him come back. You were not high on Mike Norvell. I mean, what we know, they went through vital transformation, the old John McLaughlin song. A lot of transfers. They've been doing that. That's been their MO. They managed to do that to the tune of 2-10 last year and came right out of the blocks there and as two touchdown underdogs knocked off Alabama. How the hell did that happen, Lubie? And how are you, my friend?
How did it happen? I'm good. I mean, it was definitely the weekend worked out really well. It was not only a lot of college football, it was a lot of college football, and we did a lot of laying around. So it fit perfectly. And I got to watch almost all of it. It started with USF dominating Boise State.
Yep.
And that was sort of a precursor of what we were going to see statewide all weekend long. It kept going with Colorado losing late, which is always to an ACC team, which was nice to see. And then it finished with Bill Belichick going down in flames, which most people presumed. I mean, there were some people after that first touchdown I saw gloating. I'm like, oh, guys.
I don't think anybody imagined it being that bad, though.
No. I mean, he's not good. Sonny Dykes is a good coach, but they're not good. Like, they've gone through a lot of transformation since we saw them in a championship game getting drubbed by Michigan 2-3 years ago. They've been sort of in the doldrums. They may fix it. Again, Dykes is a good coach, and he sort of knows what he's doing, but that's not yet. They're not that good. They should not have done. Like, I figured North Carolina would lose. I figured it would be sort of a disgrace by the end. I bask in the glow of Bill Belichick getting drubbed, and by the third quarter, even I was bored. I was like, yeah, I can't. Like, what is there to watch with this?
Wasn't much in the way of entertainment unless you just like to see the clubbing of seals, so to speak. I mean, every play went against them. The North Carolina Tar Heels, and were there calls in for Mac Brown to return? I don't know.
It didn't look like that. It looked better than that.
An inauspicious debut, you would have to say.
So it was really
21-point favorites over Charlotte. Would you dive on that right away?
I mean,
21-point favorites next week.
They should be Charlotte, but I when they play the ACC, whatever the ACC is, it's better than what they are. Yeah. It was a wonderful weekend, and it was. I've always been up and down with Norvell when they were 13-0. I gave them a lot of credit. And last year I saw a dip, but the dip should have been 6 to 8 wins. It can't be 2 wins. So he got everything he deserved. They got everything they deserved. I mean, they opt out of the bowl, so they lose 63-3. Then the worst season in FSU history. All the negative attention was all deserved. I mean, it just was. To give up like that, something that should never happen in sports. But something I did tell people all offseason, and I don't understand why it got totally ignored. He listened. Whereas we've watched the Miami Dolphins ignore us when they're mediocre to bad. Mike Norvell listened. And I said, okay. And I kept telling people, I'm like, he couldn't have done anything else. Like, they haven't played a game yet. He changed out the entire staff. He went and got guys that are highly credible guys at every position. They paid out the old guys to leave. They paid these new guys ridiculous money to come in. I'm like, he can't do anything else, people. Like, and people are like, well, we're allowed to. You can be mad all you want. And I've said, if he doesn't win 8 games, he should be fired. But until that moment, he's done. Again, I'm also a Dolphin fan, so maybe that's why I see another organization not trying. Like, the fact that Norvell was like, okay, went and brought in a play caller as an offensive-minded head coach, took his hands totally off play calling, which never happens. Okay, goes and gets rid of his DC. It was actually a solid DC to upgrade to a violent DC. Goes and changes out the defensive line coach, who's heralded in Odell Haggins, to bring in one of the better young defensive line coaches, a force in the NFL, Terrence Knighton. It's like, I get people don't follow FSU like I follow FSU, fine, but then don't talk about, like, FSU fans were like weirdly, I'm like, guys, yeah, we'll probably lose the game, but it's going to be a lot closer than you people think. And this spread is a fucking joke. Pardon my French. This spread is literally as disrespectful at home at FSU when they've done all those changes to be a 2 to. I said they were covering that spread. Like, that was utterly ridiculous. Like, that spread was half of why that game happened. Like, to make a story program, I get the year they had, and it's why they rushed the field, and it's why most people gave them the dispensation to rush the field as a college power because of the year and a half they just had. But 14-point dog, and then it was growing. It was growing before the game. I was like, okay. Like, there's a lot to this game that you people are not understanding. Like, we want this team really bad. Like, really, 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 really. Like, everyone else forgot. We did not forget. Mid-December 2023 will be literally on Florida State fans' wall for the rest of it. We can win 6 more titles. It's like you guys, fans will never forget the Terry Porter play. We will never forget that day. We will never forget where a ragtag group of guys without their only player beat 2 teams by double digits in back-to-back weeks to shut the college football world up, to then still get bent over. We will never forget that day. And people really did not understand what Alabama means to us right now. Like,
that was great.
That's what that game was. That game
I was shocked. I actually just saw the result, and I was like, are you kidding me? They beat them by 2 touchdowns?
I was shocked in the sense
rammed
that
it down their throat also.
we were like that. Yes, that's the shocking part. Wasn't that we were in it. It's not even that we won. We were at home. We've been top 10 teams before at FSU. It was that even when FSU has been good under Norvell, they didn't look like that. Like, FSU hasn't looked like that since 2000. Even Jimbo, the second half of his time, FSU hasn't looked like that since 2013. That 2013 championship game versus Auburn was the last time okay, fine. The LSU game in 2023, that game, the first game of the year when LSU was supposed to right or wrong and dispatch FSU, and FSU beat the living crap out of LSU, both sides of the ball. Jaden Daniels got worked by Jordan Travis in that game. They, from every ass, Malik Neighbors, who's and Brian Johnson, these 2 great receivers, did nothing against FSU. So it's been 2.5 seasons since FSU's looked like that. It was a clinic, but people don't realize everything that, like, it was literally like exorcism is what that game was. It was
a vital transformation. It was incredible to see. The result, like I said, I didn't see much of the game. I saw some highlights since. They just ran the ball right up their gut. And Alabama, Caleb DeBoer was left making homina type Ralph Cramden speeches afterwards, going, well, which I think he's a good coach. So that bodes well for FSU. Good job, Mike Norvell, who. Whatever hot seat he was on, he certainly doused the flames.
Well, see, look, it's one game. We'll see what happens. But I will say, when we'll get to the UM game, and I will say it's why when he was high, FSU fans did get behind him, because he believes in his team no matter what. Like, the way they finished that game was what Dolphins fans have wanted Dolphins coaches to do like, it's what we used to make fun of Philbin for not doing. Yeah. Instead of putting it out, stomping out the team, you drive down the field, get the touchdown, and then you get the stop, and then you kneel it out. That's not what we saw everywhere all weekend long. And it was nice to see that Bama sort of got back in there, and Florida said, nope, we're not even messing with it today. We're going to keep the ball. We're going to end this game. Sorry, Kalen, it's done. And it was just nice to see Florida State do that. I haven't seen them do that in a very long time. And under Norvell, they haven't looked like that. And it's curious to see how other teams handled their last quarter and how they got wins, but it felt weird, and it felt almost like flashbacks of times before.
You're not talking Super Mario here.
The way they finished.
That was the most conservative play calling in the late.
Which is weird. It wasn't needed. Like,
even when going for the game-winning field goal, you're thinking just throw a little dump pass in there somewhere. Get a guy in so-called open space. Give him a shot to. Hate to use all these cliches because we just started the college football season, but give somebody a chance to go and make some kind of a play that makes something happen. If you're just going to hand the ball off and run up the middle. Which everybody in the stadium began to anticipate. I didn't even know if they were going to get into field goal range doing that. So that was kind of wild. And then good defensive stand there at the end because there was still a minute left, and these are the kind of games that Mario loses.
Yes.
So that was great. You had the big one, of course, was Ohio State and Texas. And everybody was waiting for the Arch Manning debut. He gets shut out in the first half, and they get handled 14-7 by Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yeah. Now likely to be in tomorrow's poll the number 1 team in the country. So it looks like it's going to be Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, Texas maybe stays at number 4.
Yeah.
Georgia and UM.
Texas maybe behind Georgia. I could see Georgia 4, Texas 5, UM 6.
Something like that. But, nonetheless, great.
They're all writing off Arch now. And he didn't look good, but it's not like Ohio State is soft on defense. I mean, he's in the horseshoe.
Yeah.
It's a primetime game. It's like the big game of the day. and it's his first start.
Did you feel for that guy that went to the circuit and changed the odds
Oh.
when he put 500,000 on Texas? I always love those stories. I don't want to get Sarny up in arms talking Phantom Plunger again, but whenever you see something like that and the line moves, I mean, you make enough of a wager where the line actually moves a point.
Yep.
A casino that's handling nothing but high rollers. I mean, it's not like the circuit. That's their whole mission in life. They don't want the $2 parlay guy. Their whole goal is to get the guys that are betting 500 grand, 200 grand, whatever, a pop, and that's who they cater to. And they had one guy come in, they had to drop the line from 2 and a hook down to 1 and a hook, and then I think it got even lower. Might have gone back up towards game time, but with all the other people that were putting money in at other locations. But nonetheless, 500,000 up in smoke there, one bet. As soon as I saw that story, I was thinking, geez, I'm going to unload on Ohio State. Because people that have a lot of money aren't necessarily, I don't know that that's sharp money, as they say. But when somebody just walks in there with a bag full of cash and puts down 500,000 on a team, but great weekend all the way around in college football. There was a lot of other things happening. We have the NFL just 2 days away now, Lubie.
Yes, sir.
The Eagles and Cowboys going to start things out.
Cool.
Jerry Jones so far. I mean, could you be any more trash than Jerry Jones has been for his latest positioning about, well, I think we got better. I don't think so, Jerry.
No. I mean, you don't lose a guy like Micah Parsons.
What is the biggest pressuring the quarterback? You have a guy that does it better than anybody else in the league right now, and maybe is one of the all-time greats, the so-called generational talent. And you have the city of Dallas. I mean, how do they even walk around? How do they go outside and look at the sun? In the same year, traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers, and then sent Micah Parsons back into the Green Bay Packers, who saw their odds drop significantly to go ahead and win the Super Bowl. I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm not sure. Does one guy make that big of a difference if he's not a quarterback in the National Football League? If you go from having some schlep quarterback to having one of the best in the league, maybe you could take that into consideration and say significant drop. I mean, they dropped from like 20-1 down to, I think, 12-1 to win the Super Bowl with the acquisition of Micah Parsons. The 2 draft picks aren't going to affect them, obviously, for the next couple of years, until the next couple of years. And the run stopper they gave up, I don't know that that's really going to add a lot to the cause there for the Dallas Cowboys. But they start things out against the Eagles. Eagles 7-point favorites over the Cowboys. That's Thursday night. Friday, you have the game in Brazil there, as the Chiefs and Chargers are going to do battle. A lot of marquee stuff, and the Finns are now half-point favorites over the Colts in their game on Sunday. The other game, marquee game on the slate in the NFL, Bills and the Ravens. Bills hosting the Ravens as I think they're 1.5-point favorites, the Bills over the Ravens. I don't know what you make of that game, but we'll get more into that as the week progresses. You also had all kinds of tennis action over the weekend. What's up with Coco, man? Is she emotionally okay? Coco and Osaka have reversed roles. Remember, Osaka was the one that was always having breakdowns, and of course, she took a break from the game because she was dealing with mental health issues, and then she took a subsequent break after she got past some of that and had a baby, came back, and has been playing in good form. Coco Sita, of course, a giant favorite of many people, including me. I root for Coco, but she's got the yips with her serve. She fired a coach before the tournament. She was breaking down sobbing in her previous match. I guess 2 matches before, she was like openly crying in the middle of the match there because she couldn't serve. And overcame that, came back and shellacked her next opponent, but was blown off the court by Naomi Osaka, who now seems like she's very much in the mix to win that thing. Big matchup today, the American men. I didn't realize this, Louie, that this is happening in Delray Beach. I'm going to try and go to this thing.
Okay.
I think it's in the daytime on Friday, a week from this Friday. You have, and I normally don't have that much interest in Davis Cup play because you don't always get the top guys. And it seems to have faded from the spotlight there. There used to be a little bit more of a focus. John McEnroe was a huge advocate of all of the players getting out there and the prestige of playing in the Davis Cup. I think with the Olympic tennis competition now and so many other international competitions, you don't see as much attention being paid to who's winning the Davis Cup. In fact, if you ask me, Mr. Tennis over here, who won the Davis Cup last year, I couldn't tell you. Have you followed this at all? But Delray Beach, this is great. I don't know how it's going to work out because Ben Shelton sustained an injury and had to retire from his match when it looked like he was in a position to win. against Manarino, the Frenchman, the lefty, who I actually, the one time, well, I've been there a couple of times, but the time that stands out for me, I went to Delray for a night match with the Delray Beach Open. Now, they don't always have the top tier players. Taylor Fritz has played there, but you're usually getting sort of second tier guys that are somewhere between number 25 and 100 in the world. Still very good players. And I saw Adrian Manarino against Brandon Nakashima, American guy who's made some good showings. Manarino is one of these guys that you're wondering, how the hell is he beating some of these top players? But Shelton had to retire against Manarino, and Manarino even said that he was probably going to lose the match. Shelton made some athletic dive after a ball in the hard courts. I don't know if that's where he hurt his shoulder. They haven't really said with any certainty when the injury occurred. But the American team that's set up for this Delray Beach thing, if they all show up, this would be worth checking out because they're going against the Czechs. And the Czechs are well represented by players that are making good showings and have made good showings so far, even in this U.S. Open. Lehečka is still around. Is it Lehečka or Lehečka? I'm not sure about these Czechoslovakian pronunciations. But and he's still in the tournament. I think he's playing today he's playing against Alcaraz today, which may be his last match. I would have to think the way Alcaraz is mowing people down, hasn't lost a set yet in the tournament. But at Delray Beach, a week from Friday, the American team consists of Ben Shelton, Taylor Fritz, Big Foe, and Tommy Paul. So you have the top four Americans all going to be right here up the street, Lubie. How do we miss that? Going against reasonably formidable competition. And I'm thinking with national pride at stake here, these guys are going to be going after each other. That's some pretty good stuff for a small arena like the Delray Beach Tennis Center. Be fantastic. Now, who do we impose on for tickets to that? My man Carl Foster, who's usually in charge of this thing, the Delray Beach tournament, always connects me and hooks me up pretty well. Says it's a USTA event. Do we know anybody, USTA? Because I'm thinking maybe we just get credential from Bleacher Brothers for that thing, but that'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, some marquee matchups. Fritz is 0-10 against Djokovic. He plays him tonight, Taylor Fritz. Nobody beats Vitas Carolinas. What was it, 17?
17, yeah.
Or was it 18? I don't know. Whatever it was, he had lost to Jimmy Connors. And he finally beat him, I guess, on the 18th try. And he actually, I think it was, nobody beats Vitas Carolinas 18 times in a row. Famous quote. Does Fritz take that same approach tonight against Novak Djokovic, who's been playing well, man? Joker always has some kind of ailment that he's nursing, and he's famous and infamous for the medical timeouts and a little bit of drama that he adds into the thing. Although he's become a much more likable guy, has he not, Djokovic? People didn't like him in the beginning. But how do you not admire what this guy's done? He's 38 years old. He only plays pretty much in the slams. He doesn't do much else. And maybe he's in a couple of these ATP 1000s, but he hadn't played since Wimbledon. And here he is in the quarterfinals. To win the tournament, though, and get his 25th slam, he would have to mow down in succession in all likelihood. And it looks like this is going to hold up this way. Taylor Fritz tonight, Alcaraz in all likelihood in the next round, which would be the semifinals. And then Sinner, who's been lights out in 3 straight matches. Can Joker do that? What do you think?
I don't know. That's a lot.
I'm saying no to that.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. But, very exciting stuff. And this was all going on over the weekend. And then you had a lot of baseball activity as well with now the Yankees and the Red Sox creeping back in against Toronto. They're only 2.5 up in the American League East. The Marlins destroyed the Mets' momentum over the weekend.
Yep.
Winning 3 out of 4. And it looks like your man, Sandy Alcantara. What are you doing him? You trade him in the offseason, Lubie? What do you think's going to happen? Because he's tradable now again.
No, he's pitched really well. I mean, Cabrera isn't consistent now. He's hurt and he probably misses the rest of the year. But he's at least shown a nice step in the right direction. Yuri has been very consistent. But Alcantara's pitched like the ace the last month or
would
so.
you want to have an ace on this team? Don't you need to have something?
It just depends what you get. Look, again, I didn't mind the trades they made because they were very interesting trades, but don't make trades just to make trades. It feels like that's what the old regime did is, we have to get rid of young guys. Okay. We have to add pitching. All right. We have to beef up the minor league system. Okay. But what are you getting? And yes, we heard the rankings and this and that, but nothing ever happened with any of the trades. Like if you're getting rid of Alcantara because you get such a overwhelming offer, you can't say no. That's fine. But don't just trade him because, oh, well, he's making money and we don't want to pay people. Okay, then don't own a professional franchise. Like, if you're owning a franchise, you have to pay guys. Like, that's just sort of what it is. And he's doing
At
his
least
job.
name one guy. Yeah, do
He's
something.
doing his job and he's done it for years. I mean, again, if you don't get the right trade, like, what are you doing? You sort of have been within 7-8 games of the wild card. Why can't you make a leap in the offseason and become a team that's a wild card contender? Like, we've seen teams do it. It doesn't take that. You already have a nice young core. Like, if you're willing to hold on to some of the pieces, but it feels like the reverse of what they did before. They had all these hitters. They need to get pitchers, so they get rid of the hitters and they get nothing. Like, they want to get rid of all these young pitchers. They want to get rid of Cabrera. They want to get rid of Alcantara, who's not young, but he's not old.
No. And now that he's bouncing back, I mean, it took him a while to get into a groove, but the last 4 or 5 starts, I mean, he's looked every bit like the Cy Young Alcantara that we saw a couple of years ago before the Tommy John.
It's annoying to me that we all know that, well, they're going to get rid of him. Why? Why are they going to get rid of him? No, Alcantara's not making $50 million a year. He's not doing some Max Scherzer type stuff. Like, he's making good money. He's not asking for that much more. Okay, he's playing well. Your team has turned a corner. You're very, very interesting. Like, why can't you build on that into next year? It seems weird to me that we just assume guys are gone before we know what they're even up for.
And it's kind of like watching the current administration where you just shrug your shoulders and go, of course, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is in charge of the health and well-being of America. I mean, you just resign to the idea that they're going to do this stupid move that they're always habitually, going ahead and perpetrating as a hoax on the people that they're interested in winning and developing a winning team. And they gave you some reason to believe this year. So you would think, I mean, would this be like trading Fernandez had he not met with the tragic accident?
I don't know.
It's crazy because you have one guy that you're thinking, all right, you need somebody at the top of the rotation that's an established ace, and you have that. So why would you want to get rid of it? Especially since, like you said, it's not like this guy's 36 years old or something.
No.
You have other teams, I mean, coveting these older pitchers and paying guys like Verlander and Scherzer all kinds of money, even though
he ain't, man.
they're to be shot finders. And I like our audience, man. They're always on top of it. Brian, Italy won the Davis Cup in 2024. They defeated the Netherlands.
Italy? Where does that even go? Oh, Sinner's Italian. Okay.
Well, Sinner, they have Musetti, they have any number of they have any number of young guys that are absolutely dynamite.
I forget.
So, not surprising, but I definitely want to go to that event. I don't know how we can work that out, Lubie. I don't know if you're going to be available to do it, but Friday, I think it's Friday, September 12th, and then Saturday. But you would want to go on the Friday sessions because the issue could be decided by the time you get to Saturday. I think they have 3 matchups on Friday, 2 singles and a doubles. And obviously, it's best of 5. So if the U.S. was able to sweep or the other way around, then it becomes a moot point for the Saturday matches, even though you're getting to see a top-notch player. I don't even know. At that point, don't you get like substitutes or something? All of a sudden, you're getting younger people. But amazing, right? Right here in our backyard. We'll get back into some football here in just a moment. A lot of good stuff, as I said. We'll get your analysis on the Canes game and Notre Dame. Notre Dame wasn't overwhelmingly impressive in that game by any stretch. I guess this C.J. Carr is the grandson of Tom Curtis. Tom Curtis, who used to be on with Hank Goldberg all the time.
And Lloyd Carr. I think Lloyd Carr is his grandfather. God rest his soul. I think.
Oh, really? I thought Tom Curtis was related to this guy somehow.
But I think he is too. I think he's related to both of them.
All right, we'll get our story straight. Hopefully. I kept hearing Tom Curtis' name mentioned various aspects of the broadcast, and I mean the kid acquitted himself pretty well in the second half. I did think that Mario went out of his way to put a lid on it, and to have that many 3-and-outs with a quarterback who was on fire did seem like it lent itself towards believing that the conservatism in the approach was probably not the best of.
His grandpa on his dad's side is Lloyd Carr. His grandpa on his mom's side
is Tom Curtis.
Tom Curtis.
How about that?
Yeah,
For the
his
most
family
part.
tree is pretty. His dad was a great at Michigan. He's from Michigan, and his whole family tree is like Michigan greats. And then he went to Notre Dame. And remember, Michigan hates Notre. Like that's one of those where it's like it's not like okay, he just went to a school. No, they have a rivalry and they hate each other.
The Florida State thing, though, that was far and away, I think,
That
the
was the
highlight.
most shocking thing of the weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
100%. Look,
Alabama going down. Alabama was still getting consideration as possibly making their way back into the title picture.
well, no, look, that's
All of
what
a sudden, there. I mean, how many light years did they get set back with that loss?
that's what's funny what the coverage is after, because it wasn't that okay. It was a close game. FSU won on fluky stuff. It was FSU shoving their face into the ground. Like, they pushed, they dominated the game on both lines of scrimmage, and they could have done more. That's the funny thing is people are going to think I'm not gloating. I'm just being honest. They didn't use anyone. Like most of half their skill talent, like barely did anything. They just were running it well, and that's what I've told you. I'm like, look. Good. It's what I wanted the Dolphins to do for years. Like if the run game's working, run the ball. Like who cares? Like just and
You don't have to get cute. That's it.
they did different stuff, but that's the thing is they did different stuff, but they still were pushing them off the line. It wasn't just about the speed; it was the combination of both. And yes, Alabama looked deflated, looked defeated.
How would you figure that? I mean, a team coming off a 2-win season to beat Alabama like that. I
No,
don't care what team it was. I mean, it happened to be your team, which is great. It
Yeah.
happened to be an in-state team that many people have
it's unheard of.
affection for here in South Florida, and we certainly have been following them forever. I did catch last night a little bit the beginning of the Billy Corbin, the original, the U, which was that was fascinating. I mean, Corbin he does a great job. Where he digs up these
Clips.
old films, not just of the games, but of the city and what was going on at the time. Really, really well done. I mean, no wonder that was one of the favorite 30 for 30s of all time. My favorite of the 30 for 30s, you rarely see it replayed, was the two Escobars. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Yeah, it was great. That one was great.
That was really, really well done, and probably not an easy film to make since access to the kind of sort of B-roll video that you would need to make it work probably was limited. All right, we're going to come back with more in a moment. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz, a very elated Mike Lubie Lubitz. Who does Florida State have next?
It's great.
Right.
They play East Texas A&M. Not even like I've never even heard of them.
Miami has Bethune coming up.
Yes, and then they play another schmank, and then they play Virginia. Their schedule sets up really nice. Miami has to play USF, which doesn't look like a walkover anymore.
No. USF, surprisingly, I don't know how to rate this Gator game. LIU, as we were talking about last week, I didn't even know they had a football team, and they got
No one did. No one did. They I think they just got a football program.
Yeah. I mean, Gators were 45 and change in terms of favorites, and they covered easily. That's 55-0 blowout. But they have South Florida now, and the Gators are 17.5-point favorites over South Florida. So I don't know what you make of that, Lubie. South
I
Florida.
think it'll be tough. I think they'll win, but I think USF showed they have a strong defensive line, and they have an athletic quarterback, and those are two things that can help a team pull off an upset.
Yeah.
We just saw.
All right, come back. We'll talk some more about all of the happenings over the weekend and what's ahead as well in a moment. Now that. Happy for you, though, Lubie. I like Mike Norvell, the times he's come on the show.
Yeah, he's
Maybe we can dig him up for an interview again this year. That'd be great. I don't know if he's inclined to do that during the season, right?
Outreach. I usually get him before the season. This year, I left it alone after last year.
Yeah, you don't want to bother.
It wasn't that I didn't want to talk to him. It's whatever. I was like, I don't know if he's going to be doing a lot of press.
We're being hot demand now. I would think since we had a decent relationship with these guys, we might be able to pull this off.
Yeah, I'll work on getting him when I come back from my trip.
Cristobal's the guy we've been chasing forever, although would we have to admit to our very heavy criticism of the things that he's done? Like, hey, Mario, how could you lose that Georgia Tech game?
We didn't.
Or do we back off? Do we pull a Hank Goldberg where we always used to, kind of tease the idea that Hank could have Adolf Hitler on the show, and he would go, well, Adolf, you're getting a bad rap with the Jews.
Oh, Jesus.
But come on, Hank.
I
love him. May he rest in peace. And he was a very, very strong influence for me early on when I first came to Miami. Helped me out and always was trying to help me out and do things, and probably got me started there at WIOD. In fact, directly, I can say without question, he was the main reason that I ended up getting launched there as a sports talk host after I'd been around for a little while, but had been out of radio doing TV. on Sunshine Network, and Hank brought me back in there with that Breeders' Cup thing. So yeah, I speak of him in the highest of praise, but at the same time, some of those interviews were a little bit suspect.
I mean, I think we would do a similar thing, but look, he's done a good job. It's not that he's failed at UM. He
Hey,
just
won. He beat Notre Dame.
It's just the problem is those UM fans that want to just be delusional and ignore what's in front of their face. The rest of us aren't going to let them. I mean, that's just reality. Like, and when we can talk about when we get back, but those two games were the microcosm of who those two coaches are.
Yeah.
I don't think Cristobal is ever going to be. He
Very
recruits.
conservative. Wow. I couldn't believe they were running the ball up the middle. Like
He recruits so well that they'll win their 6 to 8 games every year. Like, I don't think he'll do what Norvell did and get down to a 2-win season. But if you notice, one has a 13-0 season and one does not.
Yeah.
And that's the interesting thing is Cristobal, no matter how good his teams are, he's going to get in their way. Like, he's going to get in their way. And a couple of times they'll almost lose, and 2 to 3 times they will. And any UM fan that wants to disregard that, you're ignoring reality. Like, it's clear there was no need for that game to get the way that game. The kid was young.
Some great catches in UM history too, and that what was that? The second touchdown?
Well, no, the Daniels was
that was one of the great catches I've ever seen.
The effort. I mean, it should have been an interception. It should have been an interception.
Yeah, the guy's waiting to just pick it off, and all of a sudden this guy reaches up like Odell Beckham Jr., snares the thing out of midair. We've seen that play made by different people since Beckham did it.
Yeah.
But under the circumstances and in between 3 Notre Dame defenders, and that was spectacular. Because if the ball goes over his head, it's picked off. You're right.
Yeah, the defender's there. The defender literally has his arms up to catch it.
He's ready to catch it.
Took it out. The guy took it from him.
Play. Unbelievable. That was more indicative of the stuff we used to see.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Really heroic plays made by guys in Canes uniforms. All right, back with more in a moment. Now that.
The time.
It's 8:45.
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't get your question.
You were a coach that you coached all kinds of teams. You had teams that...
Hey, say it in English. You got it?
Enjoy your trip to work with lots of laughs thanks to Defo and Lubie. Now on the Defo Show.
Even greater than that victory over Alabama was that moment in FSU history when you had Bobby Bowden on from Landlubbers on our high school football show. That was fantastic. Hey, I want to tell you about something great here. I have it right here, Louis, the secret to life.
Nice.
And that is, we had our man Joe B on the show when bees. There are a zillion supplements out there. A lot of them make all kinds of wild promises. And you saw Joe B. He's like, listen, take something natural that's going to make you feel good. And look, what's better, taking medication or taking something like this? This is 100% natural energy and stamina building. It's pure bee pollen in capsules fantastic, and it does nothing but good for you. I'm looking at some of the characteristics of this particular product. It contains 22 amino acids, 18 vitamins, 25 minerals, 59 trace elements, 11 enzymes or coenzymes, 14 fatty acids, 11 carbohydrates, and approximately 25% protein.
Jeez.
Bees, man, you see a lot of stories about bees and bee pollen and the benefits of honey, and now you don't have to necessarily get some messy jar and have this stuff dripping all over the place. 2 capsules every day. Now, it's going to affect people only in a positive way and maybe in a lot of different ways. Some people say, hey, I never get colds anymore. Others just say, I feel better. I don't know what to attribute it to, but and it's not like this is some miracle thing that you're looking at and going, oh well, I don't know why it works. It works because of the science behind it, and the fact that it's proven. You read anything about bee pollen and its benefits, and you're going to benefit from it. Joe Bees, and all you have to do, I mean, and this is so reasonable. It just makes sense. People ask me all the time, Lubie, they say, I'm walking on my walk of life. Somebody will stop me and say, hey, how long you been doing this? What are you doing? And then you say, well, I'm 74 years old. It's keeping me alive. They're like, what? You're 74 years old? You got to be kidding me. This has a lot to do with it, Joe Bees. So all you have to do to order is log on to the website. It's available 24/7 at www.joebees, that's JOEBEES.com, or give them a call at 877-300-5632, 877-300-5632. You can order this anytime. Money back guarantee. You don't like it? You could have taken like 30 of these capsules, and guess what? Joe B is such a cool guy, and he's selling his stuff like hotcakes all over the country, all around the world, that he will refund your money. And I know Joe personally. Like I said, he's been on the show. This is a good man, and this is no charlatan fly-by-night operation. They say they're going to give you your money back if you're not satisfied. Boom. You get your money back. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Make sure you get online and order your Joe Bees and take these couple of capsules every day, and bingo, man. You will notice a difference. You can't help it. It's subtle, but you will notice a difference. And the benefits of all of this bee pollen, 877-300-5632 or www.joebees.com. Find out more about it. I have the brochure here, man. It's worth going through. Absolutely fantastic. It's going to give you all kinds of great feelings about the way that you're able to get involved in your day, and instead of dragging your ass all around town and wondering, hey, how can I get some kind of energy? Never mind like a Monster Energy drink or something that's just loaded with all kinds of bad things for you. You don't have to shoot anything up. Just take a couple of these bee pollen capsules every morning, and you are off to the races, literally. Joe Bees at joebees.com. All right, Lubie, great week coming up in the NFL. I don't know, what is your feeling now? The Dolphin line has shifted in favor of Miami.
I mean, the Colts are a mess. Like, I've been as tough on the Dolphins as anyone, but like, come on. Like, yes, I admit I'd rather see Anthony Richardson because he's just a turnover machine. But it's not like Daniel Jones is prime Aaron Rodgers.
Uninspiring.
Like, I think the Dolphins have a really good front, and that's exactly what gives Daniel Jones fits. Whatever their issues in the secondary, it shouldn't be a problem versus Daniel Jones. It's later in the year. That's the thing. Their first 4 games outside of, I think they play Buffalo in one of them, are all winnable games. They should get out to a 3-1 start. And then we'll see. We're just all disillusioned because, and again, it's why I gave FSU a shot and I thought they'd cover it. It could be a different year. They did nothing. They made no changes. So it's just hard to believe doing the same thing with the same people is going to magically change a franchise. But in the beginning, they should be okay. And this Colts game should not be the thing that most Dolphins fans are scared of all year.
All right. They were half point, I believe, favorites on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. Colts were okay last year. They don't seem to excel in any particular category. I mean, as you look at their team overall, it's like, I don't get too excited about them. I don't know. Charlie Partridge is coaching D-line there with the Indianapolis Colts, our good friend Charlie. I'm not sure what his level of optimism is. They have a new coach that's come in, and Daniel Jones at quarterback. I really have no idea what to anticipate from the Miami Dolphins. This is one of the few times I don't know that we saw anything of a definitive nature in the preseason. Not sure what to make or whether Tua is going to be. Is he going to light it up this year? I mean, what's your feeling? I've never had in the many years I've been here 40. What is it? 44 years now, and been following Dolphin football obviously very closely for almost all of it, if not all of it. Less so now than I used to, but I have never had less of a feeling of certainty about anything in particular. About I don't know if the offense is going to light it up. I'm not sure if their defense is going to be really good. I don't know that they're going to be able to sustain either side in terms of evolving efficiency throughout the year. We saw them a couple of years ago when they first acquired Tyreek Hill, and then later on when they added in Waddle, and you thought, "Wow, this is an electrifying offense." But and A-Chain, certainly a very exciting running back, capable of making big plays. Offensive line has been, I mean, beyond suspect. We still can't decide whether they're makeshift or patchwork. And have they done anything? Are they makeshift or patchwork? What are they on the offensive line this year?
I think both those terms fit. They've gone and brought in guys, but okay. We don't know what those guys
I
are.
wish I could give you a deeper assessment. I really, honestly, this is one of those things. And I was talking to my good friend Al Poliak, who was up at the Funky Biscuit last night. He's a huge football fan, and I think this is standard fare. While people are going to be tempted to go ahead and overindulge in wagering on NFL games, and Jason Cole has had this theory now for a couple of years that he's proliferated here on the show, which is sit and watch a couple of weeks.
First month, yeah.
I think you need to see one. I certainly needed to see one with the Alabama FSU game.
You actually nailed it. It's so funny because you wanted to see one, and I was like, look, I didn't like the spread. I thought the spread was disrespectful, and FSU had done enough where I thought they'd cover.
The temptation was to take the points and think Alabama wasn't as good because they're still living off the reputation of the Nixter.
I thought Bama would still win and lick their wounds and be like, okay, it was a tough match. Like you're the one that was like, yeah, I can't give an opinion. I really want to see what they are.
You have to see one, don't you? I mean,
right, because both these programs look very different than the last time. Like Bama, I get it. They lost 4 games, blah, blah, blah. But they were top 15 all year. They beat Bama. They beat Georgia, who was number 1 that season. Like, yes, they did also lose to Vandy. It was a very up and down year. But they had supposedly the second most talent in anyone in college football, above Texas, above Ohio State. This is DeBoer's second year. People were talking about them. They're ranked too low. They're a top 5 team. Like, that's all you heard going into the weekend. So people were not expecting that at all. Now suddenly DeBoer's lost the team. They have no talent, whatever, magically because Florida State pushed their head in. But watching that game gave you very different than anything you could have thought before that game. And yes, in the NFL, sometimes worse. Because we saw games for the NFL, so we thought we got something. But
there's more parity in the NFL to begin with.
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I mean, it's you don't see you don't see 50-point spreads in the National Football League. Of course, in this particular, that was a 2-touchdown spread. When do you ever see a 2-touchdown favorite in the NFL? It's pretty rare. I mean, if you look at the point spreads for the opening week, the largest margin actually takes place on Thursday.
Eagles, right?
Where the Eagles are 7-point favorites over the Cowboys. Probably because of all of this Jerry Jones drama that took place in the offseason, where he's doling out contracts to people right and left. And the one guy that you figure he had to sign, I don't know, is Dak Prescott more important to the Cowboys than Micah Parsons? Possibly, because he's a quarterback. But that being said, this would have been one of the last guys. And I would imagine that influenced the point spread. But that's the biggest point spread in the National Football League going into week number 1. The Broncos are 7 and a hook over the Titans.
Yes, that's because you have a rookie quarterback. They don't really have anything in skill talent. They've reworked.
They've been bad for a long time, Tennessee.
Yes, the last few years they haven't been good. And Denver really turned a corner the second half of last year with Bo Nix and Patrick Surtain the second.
Even Carolina is given a better shot. Going against the Jaguars.
The Cowboys are a mess. The Cowboys and that's already interesting, and then they lose part. The Eagles should win that game going away. That should not be a close game.
I would have, even if they had Parsons, I would have thought the Eagles were a better team, especially playing at home. What do we make of the Chiefs this year, Lubie? The Chiefs in an interesting matchup here opening day. They're playing in Brazil, neutral site. 3-point favorites over the Chargers. Do we believe in the Chargers? I know you're not the biggest Herbert fan, but Jim Harbaugh now, second year there with the team. He made some nice strides moving forward with the Chargers last year. They seem to be on the ascent. See, that's the thing that bothers me about the Dolphins is I don't know. Are they a team that's on the ascent? Because last year they were only a stinking 9-8 team. Or 8-9, right?
Going backwards. No, they're on the decline. They're clearly on the decline. They're on the descent by like a lot. There's no angle. Again, the fun, exciting offense stuff has gone away. I mean, Tyreek Hill's not a captain for the first time. It was a very weird offseason with him, even by his standards. I mean, he went into the offseason asking for trades, but then he's not traded. But then Ramsey's traded, and Tyreek Hill's there and supposedly working hard, but then he gets more off the field stuff. Like, it's just a mess. I mean,
the vulnerability, too, of Chubb and
yeah, they're all hurt all the time. You can't count on any of the Phillips, Chubb, and Josh Robinson is a guy that's been hurt a lot in his time between Penn State and the Miami Dolphins. Like it's hard to count on any aspect of that team. The speed, but we've seen teams quench that speed very easily. So they're on the descent, and the question is how much of a descent do they make?
We'll see. I don't know that they did anything significantly enough to change the narrative from last year, which was what the hell is wrong with this team?
Exactly.
How could they have this level of talent and have doled out that kind of cash? Stephen Ross, as we often say, is the one guy that you want to work for. You want him to buy your business tomorrow. And then you could be the worst screw-up in the history of employment, and you'd still have a guy pat you on the back go, imagine if that really would have been beautiful if he had bought the radio station.
It would have been wonderful.
Instead of going to those meetings very sheepishly expecting the usual negativity when we went down to the program director's office, what have you guys been doing? When is this? we could have had Blutarski numbers for years, one book after another. And Ross would have just said, you know what? You guys are sounding good, man.
Yeah. But look, there's improvement. It's like, definitely. People talk themselves into a job. Like I've never heard of that before.
I'm really at a loss to tell you much about. And I would think you really you might need to watch the first month, like Jason Cole always says.
It's right.
Is the first month still? I mean, we did see some starters play in the preseason. I don't know that it was of any great significance, though. Where you said, oh, wow, can you believe these guys? I mean, we had young quarterbacks in there making a little bit of a mark, but some of those weren't even starters. Everybody was raving about Jackson Dart with the Giants. But he's not going to be the guy that's playing. Did we see enough of Russell Wilson to know if he's going to be able to stabilize what has been a horrendous position for the New York Giants? My friend Mike Jones, good handicapper, he's a big Giant guy, and he thinks they're going to do well this year. I believe their over-under is 5 and a hook. He thinks they eclipse that easily. I'm not sure, but interesting slate all the way around. Just 2 days away. Hard to believe, Lubie, isn't it? 2 days away. You'll be in Cancun. Will you be in a sports book in Cancun watching a Dolphin game?
Oh, but
do they have gambling down there?
I don't know. Maybe I don't get it. The place we're staying doesn't have a sports bar, so I presume I will be keeping my eye on all that's going on. It works out well. It's like the worst college. We went from like the best college football weekend ever to like possibly the worst. There's only one top 25 matchup overall, and it's between Michigan and Oklahoma, two teams. No one in the top 10 even faces. This is literally the week everyone plays their garbage teams or has buys. Like I picked a really good weekend to go away college football wise. NFL wise, it's going to be the opener, so it's going to be a lot of fun, but whatever, I'll be back Sunday. So I'll find a way to check out some of the action. And I after this weekend, it's okay if it slows down because this weekend was utterly ridiculous.
That was great. Unbelievable weekend of sporting activity. And here we go. We're in a stretch drive Major League Baseball. We have college football underway. Looks like a very promising start for a couple of the teams here. All three teams in the state. I don't know that you can make any assessment of any significance with the Florida Gator game, but we'll find out a little bit more about them, seeing if they manhandle South Florida in the same fashion or something along those lines. South Florida has to be a bit more representative no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
LIU. Does LIU even play another game? Was that like, did they play a one-game season? I mean, what the hell do they play?
I don't know. They're like,
CW Post, who's next on their schedule?
I don't know.
We should adopt LIU as our team that we follow very
I'll root
closely.
them on. I didn't know they existed. Again, I'd heard
Long Island University.
with the NIT, LIU, and Queens whatever, Queens College, and they would play in the NIT, and they would show the white guys dribbling high. Like that's what I know LIU for. I didn't know I didn't know they play football.
I think LIU had a representative basketball team.
Yeah, I was going to say basketball has been a thing. I can't think of.
It doesn't take that much to get a
Long
basketball.
Island's not known for football.
I really didn't know they had a program until I saw that on the schedule with the Gators. And I'm thinking, well, what team is this LIU? Oh, Long Island University. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, it's weird.
55-0 at the Swamp.
Yes.
South Florida has to go to the Swamp also.
Yes.
Billy Napier playing for his Florida Gator continuity. And I guess, I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. But now Florida State obviously plays Florida. The University of Miami does not play Florida this year, right?
No, they do.
They do. Okay.
Yeah, Miami.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's September 20th. We got the tickets for the
Miami
game.
doesn't leave. Now, the thing is, people said this like it was them being soft. It actually is the opposite now. But they weren't going to leave the state of Florida for the first month because they played at home. They then play at home again because they play Cookman. That's at home.
Yeah.
They have a bye.
And then they got
No, they have USF. I'm sorry. Then they have USF. They have USF, and they may go to USF because I don't know if you get 12 home games. And then they play UF, and then they have a bye. That's what it is. They play UF, have a bye, then play FSU. But the problem is USF and FSU, which were supposed to be, oh, look at this stupid schedule Miami has. And I was like, oh, crap. They're going to play 3 straight ranked Florida teams. It feels like USF may not be ranked because they'll probably lose to UF. Yeah. But if they play UF well, they could be ranked. And FSU, I mean, the way their schedule sets up, should be ranked. Miami does not leave the state of Florida, but it is not an easy start. It's actually the antithesis of the start they had last year, where they played 3 like Division II caliber teams. This year, they only get 1, and then they get some really ferocious, feisty Florida teams.
Here I was screaming to get those Florida tickets for Len Robbins, and I forgot they were playing Florida. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those tickets had to ratchet up in value, though, with the victory over Notre Dame. And I will say this, it seemed like there was a reasonably decent college football atmosphere there at Hard Rock Stadium, which wasn't always the case.
They had a great crowd.
Yeah, that was good. And it wasn't all Notre Dame. It seemed like it was very favorable for the University of Miami. They had a lot of their past
the greats,
superstars there. Jimmy was out there on the field, and Michael Irvin, of course, always very demonstrative. A lot of Kane.
Kelly was there. Jim Kelly was there. Yeah,
no, it's great. All right, Lubie, a lot of fun being with you. We'll do it again tomorrow. We'll have a little old school with Tony Segreto. We'll see what he thought about the game. Thursday, you're off to Cancun, so we'll be off, but we will be back on Friday. I'll be joined by the professor for the Friday game.
Sir.
And we'll have some fun, get some college picks, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. For Mike Lubie Lubitz, I'm Jeff DeForest. Get your Joe B's, man. This stuff's good, I'm telling you. Just don't be and extremely reasonable. I mean, it's not going to cost you but a few pennies a day. 877-300-5632 or joebees.com. Find out more about it. It's tantamount to a magic elixir, only it's got some real scientific substance to it, as I mentioned. And then beyond that, it couldn't make life any easier for you. You'll feel a surge of energy and all kinds of good stuff happening to you. And let's face it, we could all use that on a natural basis. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in. Catch you next time as we leave you know that.
The time?
9:06.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my soul.